I do want to talk about Michigan. We'll get to Penn State, even though I think they're probably going to start ranked above Michigan. But let's talk about, we'll go up to the school up north. This is also a fascinating offseason for Sharon Moore. Made a coordinator change on the offensive side, bringing Chip Lindsey. That offense was anemic last year. It was a problem. It was extremely one-dimensional. And nothing really worked with the pass game at all, no matter who was at quarterback. So you bring in Chip Lindsey, and you also go out and spend. Your donors have spent. You're bringing in Bryce Underwood, number one quarterback in the class, high expectations. Now, he's not been named the starter. Mikey Keene, who they brought in, kind of the veteran journeyman type quarterback, reportedly injured. So that's part of it. But the question is, I mean, does Underwood start week one? How do you work him in? I think we all do expect to see him playing as a freshman this year. But I think the questions are, how does the offense look different? I think you can expect there's going to be more of a downfield vertical pass game. And then, you have some receivers like Donovan, Nicole, who there's really high expectations for. And I think that, you're just hoping to see a lot of growth in the pass game. Because I think that Michigan, regardless of who they're losing to the draft, is going to be sound defensively and prepared on that side of the ball. Although, again, you are losing veteran leadership and kind of the middle of the front of the defense, which is a very pivotal place. But I think the questions are really like, hey, how much better can this offense be? And when are we seeing Bryce Underwood?
Yeah, I don't have a lot of questions about the Michigan defense. I mean, last year, that side of the ball got started off a little bit slow, too. And I think there was a feeling out process of who they were going to be with the coordinator change that went on. By the end of the year, they were playing so well under Wink Martindale. It's like, whatever, it's kind of, business as usual on that side of the football. The offense was the question. It was the issue. And even when it was Jim Harbaugh and his offense, and they had J.J. McCarthy, and they had Blake Corum, it was still kind of like, okay, y'all run the ball a lot, and we know you got a first-round quarterback, but the pass game is like still underwhelming at times. And so you remove the first-round quarterback out of that equation. Yes, and part of the reason is the wide receiver recruiting has not been great. You mentioned Donovan McCulley. He has to be big because that room has been pretty thin over the last couple of years. And then, when you have the quarterback issue and you don't have the wide receivers, it really does hamper your play calling. Chip Lindsey's a very interesting hire to me because it wasn't super splashy. Like, I think there were some Michigan fans that were like, could have had a bigger splash. He's a guy who loves playing with multiple tight ends in the game. It feels like Michigan football to me. And to your point, they're trying to develop this downfield passing game. Now, again, the question is, do you have the horses at wide receiver if you finally figured out the quarterback to be able to do that? We know Mikey Keene likes to throw it down the field. We actually saw Fresno State play Michigan last year, and he was launching them, right? And like, it might have been a little bit of trouble for him, but he was launching it downfield, and Bryce Underwood is very talented. So the question for me is, do you have the horses at wide receiver to actually make the quarterback situation and the coordinator situation better?
Yeah, I think it's a great point. And basically, it was Roman Wilson in recent years. And that was it. And that was a difference maker, by the way, to winning a national championship, was having a true number one receiver. McCulley wants to be that. He's talked about it. He's said it. He wants to be the Big Ten's leading receiver. So they're going to need that if they are going to have that explosive vertical pass game. Going to be really interesting to watch all of that play out, including the quarterback competition, and get some insight into Bryce Underwood. Everyone's been raving all the stuff you want to hear about, like that big name freshman quarterback coming in. You're getting it from his teammates. So again, expectations are high there. And I think, again, with the way they ended the season, it was good for Sharon Moore, certainly, because I think it was rough in the start, in the middle. But this is his first full offseason. Like, this is his first time to go into the portal truly and to figure out, a full recruiting, like all the things that he was doing in a very compressed time frame last offseason.
His story obviously is not written, but we did get to a point toward the middle of the season where there were Michigan fans openly asking the question on social media, was it a mistake not to do a national search and maybe not to do more due diligence on an experienced coach? That's what it felt like to start. And by the end of the year, to your point, going into Columbus and getting that huge win is like just, that would have made everything better regardless of what happened in the postseason. But they made Alabama look silly. And I know Alabama wasn't like the Nick Saban Alabama, but like it's still Alabama.
Michigan wasn't even like they had a bunch of first string guys not even playing in that game.
No, it was crazy.
It was crazy. And they also kind of lit a fire under Ohio State. That Ohio State won a national championship. So there's the good and the bad.
This is the pettiest rivalry in the world, and this is why me and Nicole love it.
Yep, exactly. And 2 rivals, back-to-back years, national champions.